Hello YouTube, my name is Marie and today let's talk about This review is going to be split into two parts. In this first video, I'm going to talk about episodes 1 to 20, and it's going to be spoiler free. While my part 2 of this review is going to really dig into those last 4 episodes and talk about them in detail, and it'll be much more relaxed and a little bit more of like a discussion. And while we're on the subject of spoilers, if you're sensitive, do not watch the video that goes with the end credits. I'm warning you right now, you're going to want to, you'll be tempted because it's so well edited and like it just grabs your attention instantly, but it does give away certain plot points that don't actually happen in the show until episode 12. So if you don't want to know anything, and if you like being surprised, just don't watch the end credits. Okay, so what is this show actually about? The series is set in a Chinese city in 1920-ish, I believe. It's never clearly stated, but by the close, I'm gonna guess it's 1920-ish. Now, what's important to note about this city is there are a lot of canals and waterways that hold both a spiritual and an economic significance to the people that live there. And as such, there's a branch of the police called the Water Salvage Team, I think, and they're responsible for clearing the water from any dead bodies. And our male lead, Guega, I think, oh my god, I don't think that's right. I have to look it up. Okay, let's find out how to say this properly. Guega? Guega. Guega? I'm gonna say Guega. Really, side note, it's really frustrating because they spell it like D-E-U, and that's not how I would spell Guega. Anyways, okay, back to the subject. So our male lead, Guega, actually holds a prestigious position on the water salvage team. He's the direct pupil of the river god, and earning him the nickname the Little River God. It's a really small character thing, but I quite like it. I like that nickname a lot, Little River God. But he's kind of like the best at what he does. He can hold his breath the longest, he's a great swimmer, and to become a pupil of the river god, you actually have to catch this ceremonial turtle, and he's the only one that's done it for a long time, and you know, that's why he's the only pupil. And during one of these turtle catching ceremonies, our second male lead's father, I don't remember his name, I'm calling him just second male lead. His father is found at the bottom of the river tied to a statue, obviously dead. This sets our two male leads off on an investigation to uncover the circumstances around his father's murder, and they're helped along by this eccentric, childlike sorceress and also a really intelligent journalist. And they quickly find out that this murder has a little bit more going on behind it. It's a little bit more sinister. It's kind of like a plot going on behind the shadows. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the atmosphere in this show, and it's got great atmosphere. This show presents a well-realized world, and I think this has a lot to do with the set design and also the costumes. And to my foreigner eye, I think that the costumes are both true to the time period and then also reflect each character's unique personality. Each character's unique personality. That's really high praise, and I don't give it out lightly. Each cast member has a purpose to the story, and they have a distinguishable character trait, and although everyone is really fantastic to watch, and I can tell that they have, you know, a history and like lives outside of the show, so, you know, they feel real, it's the male leads that the writers truly shine. As entertaining as these characters are separately when they work alone, the show is at its best when the two male leads are together and solving issues together. And I think that's because they're opposites. They're foils for each other. Guega represents tradition and mystic knowledge, while our second male lead is a modern man of science. And being true to life, these two opposite but equally valid perspectives clash at first, but then eventually they form a partnership and a friendship, and I loved it. I really liked that message that if traditional values and modern technologies work together, then problems can be overcome. As sappy as that sounds. Now, the only secondary character I'm going to talk about is the eccentric childlike sorceress, although there are several others that do make an impression, but as it is already, this video is going to be long. I was drawn instantly to her and her bubbly, unapologetic personality. She's a character that seems to really know herself and not give a crap about what anybody else thinks of her. She's just gonna be her, and I'm drawn to those people. But seeing as she's somewhat of a secondary character, she's an important secondary character, but she is still below the two male leads, I can't help but be hyper aware of how Guega treats her. He treats her like this annoying little sister that he can't shake, and that put me as the viewer in a weird position because I liked her so much and I wanted to be invested in her, but then seeing how a lead, a star, treated that character, it made me feel like I should not like her as much as I do and maybe like step back, like maybe she's not going to be as important as I want her to be. Does that make any sense? However, she does stick around, so if you love her, you know, get invested, it's okay. She's not going anywhere. And I do like how their relationship developed and that push and pull that they get. Like, you can tell that they've known each other for a really long time. If I'm being honest, she might actually be my favorite character in the show. I just love her so much. Now, my first complaint of this show, and here you thought I wasn't gonna have any, I feel that the show's characters were sidelined in favor of focusing on the mystery of it all. However, that mystery and the show's overall plot moves really slowly and can feel very episodic. It's definitely not a binge-worthy show. I've been watching Tientsin Mystics for about 2 months now, and I'm only 20 episodes in. Like, usually if it takes me that long to watch a show, I do abandon it. The fact that it is a little bit slow moving is really acute to me because I have to read subtitles. And since a slow moving English speaking show, I probably wouldn't even talk about the fact that it's slow moving because I could just put it on and then draw, or I could put it on and clean or something, you know, like I don't have to sit here and invest all of that time. Also, the show's villains are really disappointing. Hell, the name of the group itself, it feels like it's ripped straight from a Saturday morning cartoon. And somebody please tell me if the translator just got super lazy or if it's actually called Ancient Evil Gang. Really? You can't be more creative than that? Alright, I want to end this review on a positive because overall the show is really enjoyable to watch and there's more positives than there are negatives. The talent on display in this show is truly breathtaking. The care and attention that's put into setting up every shot, it just puts Western shows to shame. Every scene is imbued with movement and interesting camera angles and even the staging. And if you don't know what that means, it's for musical theater usually, or like live productions. They'll go through the staging of a character, like, oh, you'll say this and then move over here and then say this there. Even the staging in this show is interesting because you'll have shots of two characters talking and then a third character kind of blurred out in the background, but you can still see them. I don't know, it's a really little thing that I really liked. So the editing in general just makes this show a really engaging experience to watch. So at this moment, from episodes 1 to 20, I'm giving Tientsin Mystic a 3.75 out of 5 stars. Have you seen this show? Are you going to be joining me for the part 2 of this video when we do a spoiler discussion? I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how long it's going to take me to watch those last 4 episodes because, like I mentioned, I watch this show really slowly. Anyways, have a good day, have a good night, bye.